Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off our journey today with a look at the creative pioneers of the ancient Mediterranean. Today's focus will be on the Phoenicians and their incredible achievements. We'll explore how they contributed to the world through exploration and innovation. So, let's get started and discover the fascinating story of these ancient explorers. Let's start by looking at some of the core aspects of these early civilizations. They shared a common language and a strong cultural identity, which helped unify their communities and foster a sense of belonging. These city-states, like Tyre, Sidon, and Byblos, were powerful hubs of trade and innovation. Before 1200 BC, these groups were known as the Canaanites, a term that reflects their shared heritage and history. Now, what really sets the Phoenicians apart is their incredible creativity. They were true pioneers, especially in areas like navigation, shipbuilding, and writing. Their innovations laid important foundations for later civilizations and had a lasting impact on the Mediterranean world. So, in the broader context of our presentation, understanding their shared language, city-states, and pioneering spirit helps us see how they contributed to the development of early society and culture. So, here on this slide, we see that only the very rich and royal could afford purple fabrics. This wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a symbol of wealth and status. The dye used to create this luxurious color was incredibly expensive and highly admired across ancient societies. It was extracted from tiny sea snails that are found along the coastlines, which made the process both labor-intensive and costly. Because of this, purple became known as the color of royalty. In fact, Tyrian purple, as it was called, was exclusively associated with royalty and the elite, reinforcing their power and prestige. This connection between color and social hierarchy really highlights how much value and symbolism was attached to something as simple as fabric color in ancient times. Let's take a closer look at how Phoenician craftsmen contributed to the ancient world through their mastery of glassmaking. As you can see from the slide, their products, like beads, vases, and decorative pieces, were highly valued and traded across the Mediterranean. This highlights not only their craftsmanship, but also their role in early international trade networks. What really stands out is their advanced techniques in glass blowing and coloring, which allowed them to create beautiful and intricate objects. These artisans truly turned simple sand into exquisite glassware, showcasing their ingenuity and skill. This ability to produce such refined glass items was a key part of their cultural and economic influence, tying into the larger story of how they connected different civilizations through trade and innovation. Let's talk about a truly revolutionary development in the history of writing. This new method was designed to be fast, efficient, and easy for everyone to learn. Imagine moving away from the cumbersome cuneiform and the complex hieroglyphics that took a long time to master. Instead, a new system was developed, one that used just 22 simple symbols to represent consonant sounds. This scheme made reading and writing much more accessible. I like to think of it as the greatest gift to the world, a way to democratize knowledge and communication. This alphabet didn't just simplify writing, it transformed how humans share ideas, making literacy more achievable for more people. It's a perfect example of how a simple yet powerful tool can have a profound impact on society and history. Now, let's talk about how the simplified script really transformed communication in ancient times. By making reading and writing accessible to everyone, it essentially revolutionized the way people shared information. This was a huge step forward, because it allowed more people to participate in record-keeping and learning. Next, we see how this innovation was crucial for merchants. They needed a quick and efficient way to track trade, manage inventory, and handle complex business records across vast distances, especially over the seas. Fast, reliable writing meant they could keep accurate records and make quick decisions. And speaking of speed, Phoenician traders required a quick method of writing to keep up with their busy trade routes. Their ability to write fast and clearly was key to their success in commerce. So overall, these developments weren't just about making writing easier. They played a critical role in advancing trade, communication, and business efficiency in the ancient world, which ties into our larger theme of how innovations shape civilization. So, this evolution of writing systems led directly to the alphabet we use today. The Greeks, for example, adapted the earlier script and made a key improvement by adding vowel sounds, which made the language much easier to read and pronounce. As the Phoenicians moved to different regions and established new trading routes, they shared their alphabet with others. This spreading of their script across various cultures was a crucial step in the development of written language. In fact, the Phoenician script traveled across the seas, reaching new lands and influencing many other alphabets. All of these movements and adaptations helped shape the way we communicate through writing today. One of Solomon's palaces was so grand that it earned the nickname the Forest of Lebanon, a nod to its impressive cedar structure. This name highlights just how magnificent and imposing this palace was, emphasizing the use of Lebanon's renowned cedar wood, which was highly valued in ancient construction. In fact, Solomon built a palace for Prophet David and two other magnificent palaces for himself in Jerusalem, showcasing the scale and grandeur of his reign. These royal palaces weren't just homes, they were symbols of power, craftsmanship, and international alliances. Speaking of craftsmanship, Phoenician artisans played a crucial role in creating these marvels. They used Lebanon's finest cedar and metal to achieve legendary work, especially during the 10th century BC. Their skills and materials contributed significantly to the beauty and durability of these structures. And we can't forget King Hiram of Tyre, who was truly the master builder of Jerusalem. His expertise and collaboration with Solomon were essential in bringing these magnificent palaces to life. This connection underscores the importance of regional cooperation in achieving such extraordinary architectural feats. All these elements, the materials, the craftsmanship, and the leadership, really tie into our overall theme of how ancient Israel's grandeur was built on both natural resources and skilled international collaboration. Let's take a moment to focus on this iconic symbol of Lebanon, the cedar tree. As you can see here, the cedar is truly a hallmark of Phoenician architectural and material excellence. It wasn't just a building material, it was a symbol of strength, durability, and beauty. The Phoenicians used cedar extensively in constructing their grand palaces and temples, showcasing their mastery in craftsmanship and design. Lebanon's cedar wood was renowned across the ancient world for its exceptional strength and stunning appearance. It's no wonder that the cedar of Lebanon became legendary, representing resilience and grandeur that has endured for thousands of years. This legendary tree connects deeply to Lebanon's identity and historical legacy, reinforcing the overall theme of rich cultural heritage we're exploring today. Let's take a closer look at some of the key products and skills that made the Phoenicians renowned. As you can see here, they produced a wide range of items, from papyrus scrolls, which were essential for writing and record-keeping, to beautifully crafted glassware and metalwork that showcased their advanced craftsmanship. They were also skilled in creating fine embroideries and linen, which highlights their expertise in textiles. Beyond that, their wood and ivory carvings were highly valued across the ancient world, reflecting their artistic talent and technical skill. And of course, their production of salt and fried fish played vital roles in trade and sustenance. What's really fascinating is how these diverse industries demonstrate the Phoenicians' mastery as craftsmen. Their products were highly sought after by every major civilization of the time, which helped them build a thriving economy and expand their influence across the Mediterranean. This slide underscores how the Phoenicians weren't just traders. They were artisans and innovators whose skills created a wide array of coveted goods, truly making them masters of craftsmanship in the ancient world. Now, let's take a closer look at the governance and power structure of this society. You can see that even slaves, despite their status, were protected by law and had the opportunity to buy their freedom, which shows a certain level of legal protection for all social classes. At the base of this social structure, we find the average working men and slaves. These are the common folks who did much of the manual labor that kept the city functioning. Included in this group are merchants, craftsmen, and entrepreneurs, people who contributed to the economy and helped shape the city's growth. Moving up the social ladder, we see that rich merchant aristocrats held special legal privileges, giving them significant influence and advantages within society. Over time, councils began to form. These were advisory or governing bodies that started to oversee the decisions made by the kings, indicating a move toward more organized governance. Ultimately, the city was governed by kings working closely with city officials, creating a layered system of authority that balanced royal power with local governance. This structure shows how power was distributed and exercised, highlighting the importance of both royal authority and the emerging influence of councils. It also reflects a society that was evolving toward more complex forms of governance, balancing different social groups and interests. Connecting this to our overall theme, it illustrates how law, social hierarchy, and governance work together to maintain order and stability in this society. So even today, we still use many of their creative inventions every single day, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. The Phoenicians truly served as a vital bridge between the East and the West, facilitating trade, cultural exchange, and ideas. Their development of the alphabet was a huge leap forward. It laid the foundation for the writing systems we use today. And their extensive trade networks helped shape the development of modern civilizations, spreading goods, technology, and culture across regions. All of these contributions form the lasting legacy of Phoenicia, a civilization that profoundly influenced the world we live in now. Their innovations and connections continue to impact us, reminding us of the importance of creativity and collaboration in shaping history.